Hello. Hello, 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 hello. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3, 4. How long are we going to test? Hey, Beattie here. Beattie boy, still alive and kicking. How you doing? And today is September 3rd, 2014. Bright sunny day. Been a while, so I'm a bit rough on the technical edges here. BritishPeoplesLeague.com, BritishPeoplesLeague.com at you this Wednesday, September 3rd, 2014. So we've covered the groundwork. Dinosaur News. This edition, proudly brought to you by John Beattie, International Director of the British People's League. It's not going to be a long, lengthy one as the old days. While the independent election is going on for Deputy-Reeve in Minden, Ontario, the YouTubes will be cut down till after the election a bit. The election website, www.johnbeattie, B-E-A-T-T-I-E, johnbeattie.moonfruit, as it sounds, moonfruit, one word, .com, johnbeattie.moonfruit.com. That is the website for the election campaign. We want to keep the British People's League totally separate from the campaign, to which no donations have arrived. Yet we're getting world press screaming about me running for Minden Council. The only contribution has been the $5 I put into the campaign. Because they told the world press, to say world press, it's going around the world now, the States, Israel, you name it. Because they told the world press that they're my campaign, so we don't need to bother ordinary people. The smear artists are doing the campaign, because people read all the smear garbage and then they know, man, did the world press ever lie? They know the John Beattie. But that's enough said. That's on the website. And all the smears, we put them up on the website for the election campaign as our best promoters. Because when people read that crap, they think two different worlds. You know the score, most of you listeners out there. So anyway, what I wanted to babble a bit today is, yours truly need a bit of help due to a medical problem, which is under control. And I'm not going to cry the blues here as crying as such, but I want to point something out. That, playing on the internet is so easy. Now, in our network of so-called friends, we have people, may not have a car, but they have a bus. They could easily have popped up to help a bit. I'm not looking and whining as such. I'm talking about in general. Just how to flush out the phonies out there, a little bit of physical work. So, members of my family, my offspring, traveled hundreds of miles to help on Labor Day weekend. Did they ever? Everything's under control. I'm not looking for free labor. But, there was a situation. Okay, it's now under control. But I'm using that as an example. So here's the fresh editorial on the British People's League homepage right now. Physical work related to praise where praise due to workers, in editorial just below this one. Yet there are those who type rather than sweat. These are the criers when a pinch goes wrong with their internet hideouts. I'm guilty. I blew it. I had a mole in our little blind list. A couple of people got embarrassed because of reprints of private internet stuff that I trusted somebody to forward to. The reason I would forward good stuff is to build up the strength within our circles to show that we've got good people. But anyway, some mole, some jerk got in there. And I felt guilty as hell that a couple of people's internets got revealed. But a couple of days later, I read them over. There's no big deal. There's no big deal, no big escape, no big cry in the blues. But as the editorial continues, all whimper and whiny excuses to avoid physical work. Now, how's that tied in with an internet hideout? Related to praise where praise due to workers, in editorial just below this one. Now, that editorial I'm referring to is thanking the family. Proud thank you. With great pride, wish to publicly thank my offspring for traveling long distance to share Labor Day weekend with me here in Minden. And did they ever labor? Scrub this boy's kitchen, rooms, laundry, fire pit, the works. Love you guys, and God bless. So that's the editorial there. Back to today's editorial that's on the website. Physical work related to praise where praise due to workers in editorial just below this one. Yet there are those who type rather than sweat. These are the criers when a pinch goes wrong with their internet hideouts. All whimper and whiny excuses to avoid physical work. Many in our spheres are within bus distance bracket if no wheels. Get that? Many in our spheres are within bus distance if no wheels. I'm talking to people who have bragged over the years about all the help they're going to give us, not through sickness, just to help the British People's League, period. So when help desperately needed, the quotes are, "Oh, shucks, a note of sympathy typed in 4 minutes is easier than cutting a lawn, sweeping floors, etc. Aw, shucks. A note of sympathy typed in 4 effing minutes is easier than cutting a lawn, sweeping floors, etc. A tragic, sad reminder what a phony lot of losers we have on our fringes. No more wasting time with time wasters." End of that story. By the way, if some of you have liked the British People's League broadcasts, we're still asking you to prove it on the British People's League homepage under the Dinosaur News August 12th previous last edition is all of the details how you can send a donation or a gift to the British People's League. Okay, now the British People's League donations have nothing to do with the election campaign. That's talked about on the web page as such. So, we don't want to cry too much. Still got our old buddies at Candor just pumping out the good Rock and Gibraltar stuff as usual. It's on the right column of the British People's League homepage too, a direct click into Candor. Candor.org.uk, Candour.org.uk. They're just pumping out publications, attending meetings, gatherings. They're the best Rock and Gibraltar in Mother Britannia at the time. Okie doke. So having said that, here we go in the contradictions. When you get that smirk on my face, you know it's going to be another contradiction. The election deal I was doing to shake things up in the hopes that I can add something to Minden Township when the elections are October 27th. But another issue, but is it, or is it not? Total contradiction indirectly. Covering all bases. Good politician, eh? Because in reality, let's put the election aside. We're talking British People's League here. The third editorial, which you can all read, but I want to give it some emphasis today. Speaking of emphasis, there was a nice picture taken by the family too, sent to the teeny few that are on the blind list still. Not like a disciple who's gone underground. But nice picture of the family. They're not hiding from our friends, our true friends. So if the family's got the guts to be photographed, what does that say? Okay, is having an underground cowardice. Is having an underground cowardice. 3 times in your out, Beattie. Is having an underground cowardice. It is being said by some in nationalist circles that those who choose a legal underground are cowards, as the streets are still open to us. What streets? Whose streets? When white demos are kettled in like goldfish, and when white demos cannot have total freedom of speech, then about time to face reality. The streets are currently lost. Legal political cells of patriots, such as legal undergrounds throughout history, we say they are legal when no other choice. The streets are currently lost. Legal political cells of patriots, such as legal undergrounds throughout history, we say they're illegal when there's no other choice, is all that is left. What point is there in being targets for state surveillance, etc., etc.? Those who choose the streets, by all means. This note is written as the stance of the BPL, British People's League. The underground patriots of World War II were crucial to regaining freedom. We are in a warlike scenario. War against our white race and against our British roots, wherever we dwell. 3 or more genuine patriots, clinking glasses, can declare themselves a legal political cell, further by confidentiality, with the eye to freedom. One more time. Is having an underground cowardice. It is being said by some in nationalist circles that those who choose a legal underground are cowards, as the streets are still open to us. What streets? Whose streets? When white demos are kettled in like goldfish, and when white demos cannot have total freedom of speech, then about time to face reality. The streets are currently lost. Legal political cells of patriots, such as legal undergrounds throughout history, legal political cells of patriots, such as legal undergrounds throughout history, we say that they are legal when no other choice, is all that is left. What point is there in being targets for state surveillance, etc., etc., etc.? Those who choose the streets, by all means. This note is written as the stance of the BPL, BritishPeoplesLeague.com. The underground patriots of World War II were crucial to regaining freedom. We are in a warlike scenario. War against our white race and against our British roots wherever we dwell. 3 or more genuine patriots, clinking glasses, can declare themselves a legal political cell, furthered by confidentiality, with the eye to freedom. And again, if you want to donate, check out below there. Hope you do. We've got to keep plugging here. So it's a synopsis because we hadn't been on for a while, so we're just sort of wrapping up. Now to the blog talk radio shows in the States where some of my friends are on. I can only hope that during all these chit-chats on the blog talk radios that the 3 or more cells are building conjunctively, side by side, because the talk shows themselves aren't going to do it. There's massive underground civil war unrest. I mean, it's so bloody obvious. But is anyone preaching the political cell system? Louis Beam was the fellow's name about leaderless resistance, but that was just one. Beattie, the British People's League, we're talking 3 people, men, women, mixed up cells. Legal, but be prepared. Start now, even if you think you're not capable of being a political cell. The minute you clink those 3 glasses and say, we declare we are a legal political cell. Our friends of the British People's League, oh, we don't have members. Oh, we don't have direct links. We have friends. Can't we all have friends? It's quite a rave. Otherwise, things coast along good. But yes, it takes a test, whether it's a personal test or a political test, to find out what's what. So anyway, yours truly is in charge of his health again. We'll be rolling to at least 90 years of age, as Alistair Cook did with the British Broadcasting Corporation, with his letter from America. But I have to say, I'm getting a little bit disappointed in the blog talk shows that came across a few months back as being really strong hitting. And now they're getting soft. I might as well be talking about the weather. We've got to be talking political cells. Legal undergrounds that saved the so-called free world at the end of the Second World War. Was the underground, the Dutch underground, the French underground. Underground, legal, because it's legal when you're fighting for your patriotic people, when you're fighting for your rights. So again, I want to give a plug for Candor, our buddies at Candor. And the August 12th video, of course, we show the book that they've dedicated to yours truly, and that'll ride with me the rest of my life. I'm not worthy of it. Okay, Candor, C-A-N-D-O-U-R, candor.org.uk. Check them out. Oh, the other thing we found out through the last couple of weeks, a lot of political intrigue, And again, it's overlapping into the election stuff, but some hysterical types out there. But a couple of interesting side notes for this boy. I'm just as guilty sometimes as to believing gossip printed by little turd bits of enemy camps. And I got to watch that myself. Turns out a couple of people contacted me that I thought were right off the deep end. Not so. Not so. So yours truly has to investigate people before we tar them with a brush. Yeah, got to check things out carefully. But it's been a good test. We're really narrowly focused now on who our best advisors are. And it's not going to happen again. There's not going to be another mole because we just keep the list so small. I suppose it could be called an inner cabinet of friends. So that's the scoop for today, folks. We're not going to be at you as much with the YouTubes until after the election, October 27th. Or when the mood hits. Or when a nice donation comes to the British People's League. Money talks. I'm not in this for the money, boys and girls. As we know, I'm still fighting to get my heating bill organized for the winter. But the internet has to be paid. Okay? And that's up to you folks out there. If there's nothing comes in, then I'll know that the British People's League isn't worthy of a dime. So it's up to you guys and girls. Those who have been loyal and steady and fast, holding the course, staying the course, God bless each and every one of you. And the little rabbits, well, just run back to your little internet rabbit holes. Okay? So, we're going to hope that this YouTube takes and I don't have to redo it. And I just now, for the first time, looked over at the studio layout. I see Sir John is showing up. In case you're wondering what those little bronze objects below Sir John, they're two beautiful race horses perched up in respect for Sir John's statue and the spirit of Sir John. I'll try and get them in a better light one of these days. So anyway, thanks to all concerned, especially thanks to the family for coming Labor Day weekend. And we're going to see another branch of the family heading up soon shortly. So all the relatives are coming to help the old boy when he's got a little bit of a problem. But we've got it under control. And the teeny few friends of the British People's League who have shown their weight as well, especially our friends at Candor. Okay, now I've got to figure out how to stop this recording. It's been for so long. Hey, it's been great talking to you. Catch you next time.